This is Photography Bay at CES 2012.
Good afternoon and welcome everyone to Fujifilm Corporation's CES 2012 press conference. My name is Manny Almeida and I'm the U.S. General Manager for Electronic Imaging Products. We're really happy that you could all make it today and to see such a packed room. And we have some very exciting products to show you today. There's been a lot of anticipation for this announcement and much guessing from around the world. But before we show you what's new, I'm going to take you way back to a time when some of you, in fact a lot of you in this room, were not even born yet. And that's 1972. Back then, 35mm was just beginning to emerge in the US market, and Fujifilm was on the leading edge of SLRs, with a complete line of cameras, lenses, and accessories. In '72, we had just introduced the Fujica ST801. Fujica was the name of our cameras back at that time. This was the first SLR that used LEDs to indicate exposure in the finder. And a couple of years later, we introduced the Fujica ST901, a real technological, groundbreaking camera with electronic shutter and the first SLR to use digital LED readouts in the viewfinder. It all seems like very old news, but back in '72 to '74, it very much was brand new news. If we go forward a few years to 1988, Fujifilm launched the first digital camera with removable media called the DS-1E. It had 320,000 pixel resolution. By the way, the now ubiquitous term megapixel had not yet even been invented. We were still at the stage of thousands of pixels, not millions of pixels. But this camera, which was very high priced at its time, it was priced around $20,000 and had VGA resolution, was really the start of the digital revolution. Then in 1995, less than a decade later, Fujifilm introduced its first DSLR camera, the Fujix DS505, jointly developed with Nikon. The 505 evolved into the DS515, the DS565, and later the now well-known S Pro series of cameras that ultimately culminated with the S5 Pro. In the past decade, the working professional photographer has rapidly transitioned to a digital capture workflow, and Fujifilm's DSLR cameras and continuous innovations have all played a part in the way that professional photographers capture digital images today. So it's from this rich history that today we bring you our latest creation, and we think you're going to be impressed. To bring this long history up to date and launch this new product, I would like to introduce Masatake Matsumoto, the Deputy General Manager of Fujifilm Corporation's Electronic Imaging Division. Masa?
Okay, good afternoon. So thank you for taking time from your schedule to be here. As Mari said earlier, Fujifilm has a history of the continuous innovation that has all played a part in the way professional photographers capture digital image today. In 2011, building on our history of innovation, Fujifilm introduced a new type of lineup, incorporating the essence of our technologies with a focus on the supreme quality and great style. The X-Series premium lineup was born. Thanks to your continuous support, the first two cameras in this lineup have been extremely well received, and great reputations have been established. To briefly explain, the X100 was introduced in January and started shipping in March 2011. In that short time, the X100's unique style and unparalleled image quality has gone its many errors, including ISA, Deeper, Camera Journal, Press Club in Japan, to name just a few. As the first model in the X series lineup, we believe we have made a lasting impression on both owners of the X100 as well as fans of photography. This past September, we introduced the second model in our X series lineup, the X10. Not unlike the X100, the X10 has also received great reviews from the media for its unique style, incredible lens quality, advanced sensor, and its optical viewfinder. With the X100 and the X10 cameras, we believe that our X series has begun to establish a strong brand position. Now that I have covered the first two models from our popular X series lineup, it is now time to introduce our flagship model, the X1 and XF lenses. As this is to be the top camera model in the X series lineup, the premium interchangeable lens camera system was designed and built to incorporate the latest technology with the ultimate in style and quality. We proudly enter the interchangeable lens camera market, where currently DSLRs and mirrorless cameras are dominant. As you can see, the digital camera market is comprised of various types of the cameras and the camera systems. We have divided the market into our segments with two lines. One that defines the level of style, and the other, the level of the consumer. The DSLR market entry points range from entry level to high-end professional. As you can see, the DSLR fulfills the vertical line. In contrast, the mirrorless models have various styles and design which fulfill the quadrants on the horizontal line. However, the camera that fulfills the convergence of professional quality and great style is missing in the market. Today, Fujifilm is introducing the premium interchangeable lens camera system that can fulfill that open space. These premium cameras have been designed to be both style as well as deliver unsurpassed professional quality. I hope you enjoyed that brief look at our new flagship camera. Now for more details of the X1 X Pro 1, I would like to introduce Case Baker, Marketing Director of Fujifilm North America Corporation. Good.
My name is Casey Baker, and I'll be taking you the rest of the way on our X Pro 1 tour. I am the one that's lucky enough to work with this beautiful camera, and I hope, I know all of you will be as excited as I am about our new addition to the X series family. The overall concept for the X Pro 1 is anything but basic. It is the culmination of technological expertise and meticulous attention to style and design. In order to reach this pinnacle of quality and style, Fujifilm developed 4 new components specifically incorporated into the X Pro 1. The 4 new components are the XF lenses, the X mount, the X-Trans CMOS chip, and of course, the new 2nd generation advanced hybrid multi-viewfinder. These components were designed to work seamlessly in order to optimize quality in a compact camera design. First and foremost is, of course, the fact that we now have an interchangeable lens system. And the key here is, well, the lenses. Our new XF Fuji lenses were designed specifically to deliver the highest quality image with our new X Pro 1 camera. These beautiful, bright lenses deliver gorgeous resolution with edge-to-edge sharpness and clarity. These new lenses are all glass with aspherical and ED components and incorporate a uniquely shaped aperture blade to further enhance image clarity. We are introducing 3 lenses with our new premium interchangeable lens camera. Our initial lens offering includes an 18mm 2.0, a 35mm 1.4, and a 60mm 2.4 macro. The full-frame 35mm equivalents are on the screen. As mentioned earlier, these lenses include aspherical and ED glass elements that, along with Fujinan's superior lens design technology, deliver fast apertures, the brightest, highest resolution images, and maximum clarity. These new lenses have been tooled to deliver 1/3 of a stop increments on the aperture dial. And keeping with the X100 tradition, the operational interface is not on the screen, but placed squarely in the photographer's hands. Of course, a perfectly designed lens mount to attach these beautiful lenses to, one might say that the full benefit of lenses cannot be reached. Well, Fujifilm has left nothing to chance, as the newly developed X mount has its own unique components that are designed to once again deliver optimum quality. So let's talk lens mount. Exciting, right? Well, as it so happens, this is quite interesting in the sense that the Fujifilm X mount was created to allow an amazingly thin optical system profile. The total lens focal travel distance is reduced, and so is the shutter time lag. Both the thin lens mount itself and the integrity of the lens to camera fit had to be designed for optimum strength. And most importantly, because the distance between the rear lens element and the sensor becomes shorter, light can hit the sensor more directly, which improves the quality of the image capture. The lens mount side and the opening of the X mount are set in steps, so that each lens is registered in its own corresponding position within the camera body. The X mount was designed to allow for optimum results from the new XF lenses. So in terms of data transfer pins, the mount not only connects the lens to the camera, but it also allows for data to be communicated from the lens to the camera. With our advanced data transfer, the camera body can now conduct optimum image processing for each of the lenses based on each one's incidence angle, MTF, and aberration information. As if all that wasn't great enough, now we get to some pretty awesome stuff. Our newly developed X-Trans CMOS APS-C sensor This sensor incorporates revolutionary technology that allows for optimum image quality because, after all, Fujifilm's X series has been designed to be all about quality. So let's get right to it. Almost all conventional digital imaging sensors have something called a low-pass filter that helps the camera deal with moire patterns. You know the type. You see on your morning newscaster's jacket when you decide to wear a houndstooth coat into work that day. The example we have here is the Brooklyn Bridge cable lines. But when a low-pass filter is used to reduce or remove moire patterns, the sacrifice has been resolution. Fujifilm's rich history in silver halide photography and film expertise has given us a different view on how images can be captured. With film, the moire patterns did not exist. The silver halides were varying in size, and capture was more organic, as opposed to the linearity that exists with digital sensors. Building on that thought process, a new, unique array was developed in order to remove the need for the low-pass filter, and in doing so, gain resolution. The Fujifilm X-Trans sensor is a 6x6 array as opposed to the traditional bare array of 2x2. Allowing for a more stochastic or random positioning, the moire patterns are reverted and resolution is increased. The new array is larger and more complex than the bare array. So in order to process the image capture effectively and to its optimal potential, a new EXR processor was developed to work in tandem with a new coprocessor. So, Fujifilm took all of these newly developed parts, the new Fuji-on lenses, the newly developed X-mount, and the new X-Trans sensor coupled with the EXR and coprocessors, and put them all together to deliver an image of superior quality. The chart you see here represents a comparison based on image quality as measured in resolution and signal-to-noise ratio. Signal-to-noise is on the vertical and resolution is on the horizontal. As you can see from this comparison to a full-frame sensor, the signal-to-noise is almost equal, but when you look at the resolution, the new lens and sensor combination delivers better results, and these results can be seen at any ISO setting. Last but not least, almost like the icing on the cake, we would like to introduce our innovative second-generation hybrid multi-viewfinder. Fujifilm's revolutionary hybrid viewfinder, which enables photographers to switch between OVF, or optical viewfinder, and EVF, electronic viewfinder, has been redesigned to work seamlessly with the new interchangeable lens system. The viewfinder's framing adapts automatically based on the focal length of the lens being used. Here we see the framing of the 18mm. Of course, the lines here are in red for easy viewing. The normal lines would be a white overlay. These lines show the 35mm, which will have changed automatically with the positioning of the new lens. And here we have the 60mm frame line change as well on the previous slide. Each time the lens is switched, so are the framing lines for an effortless transition in picture taking. The X Pro 1 premium interchangeable lens system is designed not only to deliver exceptional image quality, but it is also made to engage the photographer in both overall style and performance. Our new X system will be shipping worldwide in late February. We have also prepared several accessories to enhance the overall handling and experience of the X Pro 1, including a hand grip, shoe mount flash, protection filters, as well as a leather case. Looking to the future, Fujifilm continues to build on its legacy of imaging expertise and camera design. We are planning on introducing 9 new XF lenses in the next 3 years, introducing a super wide 14mm and several zoom lenses. Each and every one of them will be designed with the prime purpose of delivering exceptional quality and the highest resolution at any focal length. Thank you very much. Please stop by our booth to to see for yourselves the image quality we spoke about today. And now, I'll turn you back to Manny Almeida.
So hopefully you get the picture that we're taking a very different approach to improving photography and improving image quality. But in addition to the X series cameras, we're actually introducing a total of 19 new models here at CES that range from cameras around an entry-level price point of $100 all the way up to very sophisticated long zooms with up to 30x zoom ratio for the consumer market and for the advanced consumer. Our goal is really to provide benefits rather than a whole lot of features that are truly usable by the consumer and that ultimately result in the consumer being able to take better pictures. So without further ado, we're going to have a question and answer session. We still have about 15 minutes or so for Q&A. And I'm going to bring Casey back up in case I can answer non-technical questions. Casey will answer technical questions. So are there any questions in the room?
Real quick, how much,
That's the magic question. The question was how much? We actually have not made a final determination. We will make that determination around the end of January. We expect that the body is going to be around $1,700 and that the lenses will be around $650. However, we're going to wait until the end of January to make a final determination of the actual price because of things like exchange rate and some of the volatility in the currency markets. That was the magic question, wasn't it? Casey, resolution on the sensor. The question was, what is the actual resolution of the sensor? It's a 16 megapixel CMOS sensor. Were you looking for the actual XY? Yeah. Yes. Yes, it can. Full HD video at 1080. Question on this side?
Yeah, a more general question. Going forward, how will the decline of Kodak affect Fujifilm?
Wow, that's a heck of a general question. Right to the heart of the matter. Well, you know, it's unfortunate that it's happening, certainly in the market. We will look for ways to be able to fill in where we have products for the consumer, whether it be in the digital camera area or other photographic areas. But it's a difficult situation to predict. Yes,
Any
sir.
plans for an M-mount adapter?
For an M-mount adapter?
Yeah. Use Leica lenses and Zeiss lenses.
Yeah, there's actually a plan for a Leica mount adapter, and there will be other adapters also available, but not yet announced.
Can you tell me about the shutter in there, the leaf shutter in the X100? That's great. We got a great sync speed with it. What can we expect out of this in the?
It's a focal plane shutter.
Okay. What about the sync speed? What can we get out of that?
Out of the what?
The 5 sync speed?
1/25.
We have 2 more questions. The ISO sensitivity without the low? Oh, the infrared sensitivity without the low-pass filter. We don't have any information on it yet. Another question down here?
Number 1.
When is it available? When can you buy one?
Yeah, it'll be shipping in late February. So you'll be able to go to your pro camera dealer. That's where we'll be selling them.
Can you comment on the lens profiling a little bit more? It seems that you're profiling all your lenses in the camera, so you're actually doing the main camera in the camera. So later on, it's not necessary.
All the information will actually be transferred from the lens to the
Otherwise, this side.
I'm pretty loud though.
Why don't you repeat the question too?
Could you please repeat the question?
You're doing in-camera lens profiling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that will be handled in the processor itself and not necessarily later. Is that what you're suggesting?
It can happen in both areas, both after you take the shot and you have it in your computer, as well as inside the camera. As you know, with our X100, we also allow for processing in camera. It is optimum to have our own processor because we've actually been able to hide all this.
Could you tell me the resolution of the LCD screen?
You're talking about the LCD screen on the back of the camera or the viewfinder?
Back of the camera.
On the back of the camera, 1.4. Dave, 1.4 on the LCD screen?
I believe it's 1.4.
Can you tell that this is new to us? It's 1.4 million pixels. The viewfinder screen with the hybrid viewfinder is also a higher resolution screen now in this second generation. Any other questions? Over here. I think the question was, what memory card does it use? It uses SD. So standard SD media. I'm sorry, Dave, couldn't.
The latest SDFC
Yes.
or?
Yes.
Yes.
Could you
Go ahead.
could you explain a little bit more about the hybrid viewfinder, sort of when it switches and what those lines actually mean?
Sure thing. The hybrid viewfinder has been designed to have there's a lens that goes into place to add magnification each time the lens gets switched. So for instance, if you have the 18 millimeter on there, it has a certain frame line. Once you change that to the 53 or the 90, there's a lens that goes into place and adjusts, and then the framing lines adjust automatically. You can also switch it on the front with a little switch for between OBF and EBF, so that's also possible.
And this will work with zoom lenses as well?
In the future. Yes, actually we do have plans for zoom lenses.
Will it work? Will the system work with a viewfinder, with the optical viewfinder?
I believe so.
And of course, the hybrid viewfinder is the actual view through the lens. So as you're zooming the lens, the hybrid viewfinder works directly with the lens.
But you haven't got magnifiers in the camera, so that can't be possible.
I'm sorry?
Is it just the frame lines adjustment?
In the current lenses, yes. In the zoom lens, we don't know yet, but we expect so.
Since the new sensor is going to require different demosaicing algorithms in RAW software, can we expect any good third-party RAW software to ship at the same time the camera does?
The camera comes with Silky Picks, which will actually be designed for that. But as we all know, there are other companies that we will be working with. So I know the ones you're talking about. We're not.
What's the pixel size of the sensor?
Pixel size.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have that information at this moment. But stop by the booth and I'll get that for you.
Going back to the upcoming M adapter, if you use a lens via the adapter, can you manually change the frame length to match the focal length, or will it be limited to the EBF?
It would mostly be an EBF. However, inside the camera there is an adjustment, so you can actually change the focal length of your lenses.
Okay. Does it have an input for an external microphone for video?
Not at this time.
made out of? The structure is it metal, plastic?
We have the magnesium alloy, the top and the bottom. Something along the lines as you remember with the X100.
Could you disclose the sales number of X100?
We really haven't discussed the exact quantity of X100 that we've shipped. What I can tell you is, as of this month, we still have a back order on X100. We've yet to meet the worldwide demand, and it's far exceeding our original forecast that we originally predicted for X100. So it continues to do very, very well.
Does it have HDMI output?
Yes. Yes, it does. It has a mini HDMI.
And USB 2 or 3?
Don't know that. If you'd like, just leave us your card at the end of the session. We'll come back to you. Any other questions? Yes,
yeah, the optical viewfinder in the X100 was larger than 100%. So with the standard lens, the 18 on the X Pro 1, what sort of field of view are we going to be getting, roughly? Because it's wide, it won't.
Yeah, the 18 millimeter will be, actually it's the optical viewfinder will be fine. Anything we come out with afterwards has lines that actually go further out.
So with the 18, will it match to be 100% edge to edge? Or
no, so over 100%. That's the reason for framing lines.
Right.
Yeah.
What type of photographer are you aiming this at? Professionals, managers, collectors?
We're aiming this at professionals, the wedding and portrait photographer, the studio photographer, the street photographer, and anybody who likes a nice compact camera to take with them to on shoots, backup, you name it. This is there for them.
Yes, sir.
What's the widest focal length you'll be able to use with the optical viewfinder?
Currently, the widest planned is 14, but that's the current plan that we.
And that would work with the optical viewfinder.
That would work with the optical viewfinder. Yes. Any other questions? Yeah. The frame buffer? Yep. Frame buffer. How many frames?
I believe it's 10 frames. Of course, as you know, it depends on your JPEG and RAW, your card speed, and so on and so forth. If you want to stop by the booth, we can test it out for you.
Any other questions?
Do you plan to use full-frame CMOS in future sales cameras?
I'm sorry?
Do you plan to use full-frame CMOS in future cameras, next sales?
The question was, do we plan to use full-frame CMOS in future X-series cameras? And unfortunately, we don't divulge, future information, future plans that have not yet been announced.
I'm going to jump in real quick. Somebody had a question about the LCD versus the viewfinder. 1.23 million on the LCD and 1.44 on the viewfinder.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate your attendance. Appreciate all the questions. Thank you. And hope you enjoyed it.